Hello everyone. Today in our latest session of Thoughts on Education by Collegedunia, we have Dr. Lancelot with us, who is the principal of St. Xaviers College, Ahmedabad. So this is the latest edition of Thoughts on Education, an initiative by Collegedunia. So we'd like to welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we'll be starting with a brief introduction about sir, and then we'll be moving forward. So Dr. Cruz is the principal of St. Xaviers College, and he is a botanist and has been actively involved in administration since 2009. He has several international projects and publications to his credit, and he has been actively involved in the commercialization of medicinal plants and ethnobotanical products by forming a group called Adi Aushadhi. So, welcome, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, my first question would be: you have been in administration since 2009, as I just said. So, what would be your, ideology about management, and how do you look at administration?
Yeah, I think we have educational institutions have benefited a lot from management over the last 2 years. So a lot of management principles, a lot of management practices have been adopted in education, and that is a very good thing. Right from the National Accreditation Council at the top and the UGC, which evaluate colleges, institutions have, begun to look at their own vision, their own mission, to ensure that their programs are in line with that vision and mission. People are looking at outcomes of courses or programs, and people are looking at various types of strategies and various types of methods in order to evaluate and to get feedback. So I think this is a progression which I have seen over the last few years since I have been in administration. Today, administration in education institutions are administered in a much more professional way. A lot of good management principles apply and are being put into practice, and I think this is only to the advantage of the ultimate outcome of education. Yeah.
So truly said that it has seen a more professional change, as you said, during the last couple of years. So, sir, my next question would be: the educational landscape in this country, as compared to the other countries, is a bit different. So, for a student coming into St. Xaviers College, what he or she could gain from the experience by coming into your college? Your thoughts about that?
St. Xaviers College is no longer the type of elite college that it was, say, 25 years ago. Okay, because somewhere around maybe 20 years or so, we changed our admission policy. And in St. Xaviers College, the management made a very clear choice to open the doors and to provide access to students of all communities. So not only the minority community, college is run by Minority Community Trust, not only the Christian minority community, but also, students belonging to different categories, SCs, STs, OBCs, others, to public. So this was a shift in policy that took place many years ago. And if you see the composition of the students in the college, it is a very diverse student composition. So this has been actually pointed out in a number of surveys, India Today and NIRF and GSIR surveys over the last couple of years. So students who come to Xavier, there are two things. One is to provide access to students to the college. So an ordinary student with a good percentage can get into the college, and then once we have access, they must have equal opportunity within the college. So there the college will, there are different groups within the college, different cells within the college to cater to, we have a good number of, say, Divyang students. We have a number of Jagrat takes care of the SC, ST students. We have different cells in the college which take care of students. Admitting them is not enough, but once they are in, they have to actually be helped to compete with the best in the college and to come out at the top. So that is basically our philosophy: access as well as the opportunity to actually excel within the college.
So yeah, just like you said, so there are these various different kind of cells and bodies are very helpful for people of different backgrounds for them, just to get them integrated in the college, just to get them a feel of the college. So then moving on to the next question, what would you describe your role in the university and going forward? What would your roles and responsibilities be in college going forward?
Well, right now we are the only autonomous college in Gujarat University. There are several universities, but we are the only autonomous college in Gujarat University. I think under the new education policy, the NAP, the government plans to encourage the states to go for many more autonomous colleges within the university. So we certainly have a role in helping other colleges to attain autonomy. We have just completed the first cycle of our autonomy, 6 years, and it's held up a little bit because of the pandemic. And the process is on. We will be going for extension of that autonomy for another cycle. So there is an important role that autonomous colleges play within the university. We have the power to, under autonomy, we get the power to set up our own courses, to make our own syllabi, to do our own evaluation, and therefore, you can set standards which otherwise are difficult to set and to achieve when one is under the parent university, because the university includes so many colleges, and they are also looking at setting a certain standard which everybody can achieve. So these are the advantages. I think we are looking forward to being an autonomous college. The national education policy does talk about making some of these into universities, and I think that will take some time. That will be somewhere down the road. So these are some of the plans, as you asked, some of the plans that as we look forward.
So as you just said, been 6 years, right? You have completed your first cycle. So yeah, that's a great step going forward. And sir, I just want to know, when you first came to the university, what were your visions and goals at that time, and how is it now? Is there any difference to that, or how is it, when you came to this institute, and now is it aligned your goals and visions at that time, and now is it any different during this tenure that you have served here?
Yeah, we only, Xaviers, we just got autonomy in 2014. Okay, so I actually joined the college in 1994. So we were very much under the university. We were a college which was affiliated to the university. We still are, but just now autonomous. And in that setup, it becomes very difficult to do anything new, really, because any new course needs university approval, any new program needs approval. Change in syllabus is not possible. So several of us, myself, for example, I'm from botany. I was part of the Botany Board of Studies of Gujarat University for several years. Several of us, we made our contribution to the university at that level. But in terms of doing things, new things, doing them differently and doing them faster, there was very long process that is there within the university. So it's only in 2014 that we actually got autonomy, and in 2000 that we actually were able to develop very fast. So I think in the last 6 years, now 7 because of this pandemic, we have been able to start something like 9 postgraduate programs and a couple of undergraduate programs. So this was simply not possible in the earlier 20-25 years, as long as we were under the affiliation of the university.
Yeah. So sir, I think going forward, now that you are autonomous, you will be bringing more changes, and I think that will be really helpful. Just along those lines, sir, what do you think will be some of the biggest challenges for higher education, or for in general, or people coming to your university? What will be the general, challenges, major challenges that they will be facing going forward, especially after this pandemic?
Yeah, I think there are uh, there are real challenges because this pandemic uh, has really widened the not only the economic divide, but as people would say, the digital divide. We do have students, who come from all backgrounds, from across the state, from other states. Students whose, homes are somewhere in the forest in South Gujarat, and students who are in big cities like Ahmedabad or Baroda or Surat. And there is a very big divide that is visible, that is very clear to us, even in our online teaching and our online examinations. That is very clear. So, when things do open up and people do come back, probably after some time, it is going to impact. I think we'll have to really see how some type of remedial systems can be put in place to help students who have actually suffered because of the pandemic. So that is one thing. I think secondly, there are issues of financial help, of people being able to pay their fees, of people who have parents have lost their jobs, maybe the parents themselves, but in the family a number of relatives have suffered or died from COVID. A large amount of expenses has been involved in that, and I think it will be important to see how these students, several of them who are clever, who are quite brilliant, some of them have been affected. So we have, I think, about, we are given the last semester maybe about 8 lakhs in financial help to several of these students who had applied. So I think these are some of the real challenges that are there immediately. Uh, in the long run, we'll have to see how we can actually strengthen the system. The NEP has, hopes to set very high standards of education, but I think there are issues there related to resources, there are issues there related to finances, to infrastructure. So those will have to be looked at, and those will have to be sort of planned very carefully. If we really want to move in that direction, or want to move in the way that the NEP suggests in terms of the enrollment ratio or this type of things, this type of parameters, then a lot of planning and a lot of hard work will be involved. So there certainly are challenges, like I said, immediate challenges, and more long-term challenges that we educational system will have to meet. And I think the government will also need to, increase its contribution to education, which is a matter of concern just now for a lot of people, that it really needs to be increased. Yeah.
Yeah, sir, I think as you said, COVID has made everyone to look at their infrastructure going forward, and it has shown what every education system or probably every domain is lacking. So yeah, so going forward, sir, with the last question, what are your suggestions for the future students? What would you have piece of advice for the upcoming students who are going into higher education, or entering this phase of their life? What would be your suggestion to them?
I think it's important that students know what they want. I think one of the great difficulties just now that we face is students perhaps do not know what they want. So they are guided by somebody, very often not even by their parents, but by their grandparents, by their aspirations. They put them into medicine, or they put them into engineering, or they put them into some subject, and then after a year or two, number of them say that this line is not meant for me. So it is important that they know what they want. I think today there are very good type of testing systems that are available to check one's aptitude, to study one's interest, to study what are the possible areas where perhaps this child would excel. And I think in Gujarat, unfortunately, this is something that parents and education is actually are not giving enough importance to. I think it needs to be given importance, and that would really help our children and our students to flourish. I also think that students need to understand that there is a set of skills which the pandemic has sought to provide them, or has provided them. And these are skills which will hold them in good stead over a long period of time. So even post pandemic. So skills like being able to deal with stress, being able to to work uh, under pressure from home, from a closed environment, the ability to focus much more on a task and to complete it within a given period of time. Okay, skills like being able to reach out and to help others, to study together in groups, in online groups. I think these are a set of skills which will benefit students even in post-pandemic times. And obviously, those who have gone through the pandemic and who are going through the pandemic are young students. They are definitely going to be people who are much tougher, physically, mentally, to I think deal with situations which may arise in future. Hopefully, a pandemic like this, will come again after 100 years. But I'm sure they will be much better equipped to deal with situations that they will encounter in their careers as they go ahead. So I think this is, I would say that we need to look positively also at the whole experience, not just negatively. There are a lot of good takeaways from this experience. It's not over yet. We still have to be careful, but there are a lot of good takeaways, and we need to build on those takeaways.
Yeah, so hoping this would be over soon and we'll be getting back to normal. Thank you, sir, for your time.